The story opens with a boy, Shido, standing in an advanced world. He told everyone a girl named Kurumi had saved his life over 204 times. Every time he is killed, she rewinds time and stops DM's attacks on him. He also mentions that Kurumi's goal is to go back in time and defeat the origin of spirits to save her best friend and prevent all tragedies caused by spirits. Unfortunately, she needs his spirit power to do that. This revelation surprises and shocks everyone, making them unable to believe Kurumi's goal. They mention Kurumi has a plan, but they do not agree to give Shido's spirit power. One girl comes in front of him and explains that the concert about the woman, Miyu Tomita, came up in their story, and it is hard to believe, but there is a chance that she might be their family or a blood relative. She gave Kurumi her sapphire, enabling her to become a spirit resembling phantom. This is a peculiar story, and there must be a relationship between Miyu Tomita, the phantom, and the spirit of origin. The answer to all these questions lies in their past, which they have completely forgotten and know nothing about. One girl tells him to try to remember his past. He decides to remember, but all the girls are worried about him. He reassures them and uses his power to generate a Michael, putting this into his mind. A bright light appears, and he goes back to an ancient time when he sees a spirit in the sky. After that, he opens his eyes and sees all the girls near him. They are worried and concerned about his health and ask if he is okay because he collapsed after using Michael. He tells them he is okay. A girl near him explains that this is the result of her indirect kiss because numerous particles floating in the space from her breath reached him, making him okay. Another girl is against this because it means everyone in the same room has been deeply entwined in a deep kiss, which she cannot believe. After that, he tells everyone he is okay, but unfortunately, he sees something, but he cannot remember it, making him worried. The girls tell him not to worry. His sister Mana tells him to use Michael on her, but he refuses, saying he will recover first. A boy gets angry because Kurumi interferes with every attack on them, knowing their plans in advance and altering things to avoid Shido's death. However, they have an advantage as they use Nightmare several times, repeating the same things over and over, which will exhaust her mind, making her give up. They can then kill Shido. At the same time, two spirits come and show him a nightmare they caught. He appreciates them and strengthens his resolve to kill Shido at any cost, regardless of Kurumi's efforts to save him. Shido thinks about Miyu Tomita when suddenly Kurumi's clone appears from a mirror. He thanks her for last night, but she stops him, saying he should thank her after knowing the news she has for him. She tells him that DM Industries will use their full powers to attack and kill him on February 20th and that she has come to warn him. Kurumi's body does not know she is here. She is just repeating time to ensure the future in which he survives. However, their enemies know about it. She is here to tell him everything and to explain her struggle to save him. As she is about to leave, he stops her and asks her to give a message to Kurumi, thanking her because he is alive because of her. He also mentions that he will steal a kiss this time, so she should be prepared. She smiles and leaves. They tell everyone they must defeat DEM to secure their future. At the same time, Mr. Woodman appears on the screen, telling them he is okay and mentioning their enemies are strong, as DM is organized by Isaac Westcott's charisma and Ellen Mather's competence. If they defeat these two, their threat is significantly reduced. They start talking about the main topic, but Nia stops them, mentioning that Westcott uses Beelzebub, the omniscient demon king, who can see everything that happens throughout the entire universe. He also knows everything about their discussions. Nia says this is correct, but fortunately, he doesn't know how to read people's minds or predict their future. Maria punishes her with an electric shock for insulting the nickname. They decide to do what they can, and Mr. Woodman supports them. Kurumi points a gun at her clone because she informed Shido about the DM attack. She is about to hit the tracker but stops, mentioning that Shido has a message for her. Shido says, "I love, super love you. Let's get married, my honey." She becomes aggressive because she knows the term my honey is accurate and shoots at her, advising her to be useful. The girls go to the captain of the secret organization protecting spirits and mention February 20th, as there will likely be a major battle in Tengu City, and they will help them. However, she refuses, saying that if they join forces, they will lose their jobs, and the spirits are enemies of mankind. The girls argue that spirits are not enemies of mankind, so she decides to fiddle with the secret organization's new weapons. The captain's companion stops her, making the girls angry. They attack her, stating that they are good fighters and do not need her help, and then leave. In the darkness of the night, Kurumi hits herself with a gun and creates several clones of herself. The girls make snacks for Shido and others because they are working hard in preparing for the coming battle. After that, the girls play different games for enjoyment. They ask one of the girls, Kagaya, about Machu Picchu's erotica, and she feels shy answering, mentioning that it sounds like the noise a kiss makes, which makes the girls laugh. Later, the girls talk about the boys. One girl mentions a place where a boy is cool and says her dream is for a boy to refuse to give up and kiss her, holding her tightly. Another girl dreams of a boy stopping her and Kagaya from fighting. While talking, they get a call from Toka, who asks them to come and help make snacks for Shido and the others. Kotori is working on the upcoming battle with Maria and becomes aggressive. Shido comes and gives her a drink, telling her to rest. She tells him she will give him the toughest mission, so he should be ready for it. The girls appear with snacks. Kotori tastes them first but doesn't like them because of the cilantro. The girl mentions that they have to eat it to become strong and prepare for the battle, so they decide to conquer their dislikes. Everyone eats snacks with ingredients they don't like. They offer Shido his snack and ask him to eat it. He asks what is in it, but they can't tell him. That night, Shido is lying down when Toka comes in, saying she can't sleep because of Miku's awful sleeping habits. She asks what he is thinking about, and he tells her he is thinking about Kurumi as he wants to save her but is confused about how to help her. She sits next to him, puts his head in her lap, and tells him it will help relax his mind. She apologizes to him and mentions when she hears he would have died if not for Kurumi. She puts her hand on her chest and mentions she feels pain, thinking about what he would have faced if they hadn't met him back then. He rests his head on her hand and tells her not to worry, that she should relax, and that he is happy he met them that day, receiving so much from her and all the spirits. She smiles at this. The girls go to school when Tanamochi joins them. They ask him about Itsuka, Toka, and Tabichi, but he mentions he doesn't know anything about them. A spacequake occurs, and they go to the school shelter. Tanamochi tells them he saw something in the sky like a battleship, but they don't take him seriously. Commander Kotori appears on the screen and tells everyone they need their cooperation because an insolent visitor has arrived in their city, trying to steal the power of the spirits through rough and violent means. They need to teach them a lesson on how to treat women. She raises everyone's morale, mentioning they have only 6 ships against their enemy's aerial fleet of 30, but they must fight. She states that the spirits are the key to the situation and must do well, lending their power to win the battle and take care of Shido. All the spirit girls are passionate about this and agree. They decide to capture Artemisia, originally the ace of Britain's anti-spirit team DM, who succeeded in integrating a control function into the realizer after tracing her brain. They plan to use her brainwave data to create a jamming code for Ashcroft. Maria mentions that there is a way to render the Nibiel powerless, but for that, Shido must be on the front line. Kotori doesn't want to permit it because they want to protect him, but Shido insists they hear the plan, and she agrees. On the other hand, their enemies are confident about their plan and launch the first wave of Bandersnatch. However, Kurumi appears and tries to thwart them. The enemy uses their other ships, but unfortunately, they are hit by the surface. The captain is surprised by what happens in the city. The battle started strongly, and the fight was played very well. Kurumi's clone worked effectively and fought impressively with the enemies. All the spirits acted professionally. AST came to defeat the spirits without the order of DEM, but fortunately, one spirit girl saved the life of the AST captain. The spirit girl told Artemisia that Westcott deceived them and manipulated her memories, but she couldn't believe her because she was a spirit and started fighting. Mr. Woodman saw all this on the screen and was impressed by the way the spirits fought. He told Karen to take care of the rest and move, but Karen suggested they could go live somewhere together, just the two of them. He didn't take it seriously and moved. Nibiel, with her clone, tried to attack them, but the spirit appeared and overcame the attack. The spirits mentioned that they couldn't fight them as Shido was enough for them. She couldn't believe them and mentioned they were underestimating them. She said that if Shido was their opponent and she killed him, that would mean they won the battle and attacked them, but the spirit overcame this attack. Nibiel appeared behind him to kill him, but he played very well. He mentioned he loved her and kissed her, making her blush and shy, and she was eliminated. He moved in front of them and started kissing them one by one, giving flying kisses and making them eliminate. He captured them, kissed them, and eliminated them all. The spirits were surprised because they didn't expect all of this to happen so quickly and easily. He moved behind to kiss Nibiel, but Kurumi was there, and he knew she was the real one, not a clone. He was about to kiss her, but she moved him away and shot the Nibiel behind him. She told him this was a better field, and he had to grant it. He thanked her for saving his life. She started shooting, and he kissed her to eliminate all of them. She mentioned that once it was over, he could greet her with tears of gratitude and offer his spirit power to her, but that just meant he would die for her instead of DM. She mentioned she would use his spirit power to go to the past and defeat the spirit of origin. Once she altered the past, the existence of spirits and his death would be no more. He interfered and mentioned that if that happened, they would never meet, and he didn't want that because he loved her and knew she loved him too. He mentioned he experienced her memories and knew that was true. She was shy but mentioned it was deplorable to say this while kissing another woman. He apologized and mentioned he wouldn't redo everything, only the bad parts. He would seal the spirit of origin's power and use that power to rewrite history, and that's why he was able to create the ultimate favorable and happy history. One enemy appeared and attacked Kurumi, and she was about to die, but her clone appeared in front of her. Her clone asked her if she was useful to her, and she replied yes. So, she advised her to be honest with her feelings, closed her eyes, and disappeared. Kurumi felt bad about her death and mentioned they would talk after the battle was over. She allowed him to kiss, but first, they had to defeat DEM, and he agreed. He made a hand with her, and she was about to make a hand with him, but suddenly, some spirit image came from inside of her. What will happen next? Please subscribe to our channel for the next part.